My son George practiced magic for 2 months just to perform on stage with his dad for Children's Day. I stayed up 3 nights sewing matching capes for the father-son duo. In the pocket of the larger cape, my son secretly tucked a lollipop, saying it was a reward for dad. 2 hours before the performance, Mason said his first love's daughter also had a show at her kindergarten, and no one was going. I told him his son had been waiting for 2 months. He was already grabbing his car keys. I'll just take a quick look and come right back. Tell him I went to the bathroom. I asked what if he didn't come back. He paused for a moment. You'll be there, won't you? When the curtain rose, the large cape was neatly draped over an empty chair, the lollipop still in the pocket. My son stood alone under the spotlight and said, "My magic trick is called the disappearing dad." Not a single person in the audience could laugh. On the way home, my son finished that lollipop himself and asked me, "Mom, if I disappear too, then dad won't have to choose anymore, right?" I held his hand and said with a smile, "Mom will perform a big magic trick with you." On the way home from kindergarten, George was very quiet. He didn't shed a single tear the entire time, didn't even complain once. He just clutched the plastic stick from the half-eaten lollipop. As soon as we got through the doorbell rang urgently. Mason's driver, Alan, stood outside panting, holding a huge cardboard box. "Miss Annie, Mr. Mason asked me to deliver this." Alan wiped the sweat from his forehead and carefully set the box down. "Mr. Mason called me several times on the road, urging me to buy this Ultraman Lego set. He said he left in a hurry and was afraid George would be upset. So he wanted me to hand it to George personally. Mr. Mason also said on the phone to stop by that dessert shop you always go to, Miss Annie, and buy a taro roll. But the shop was closed today." I looked down at George. George didn't even lift his eyelids. He simply walked around the box, blocking his way, carrying his little backpack, and went straight to his room. Click, the door closed. Alan awkwardly rubbed his hands. "Miss Annie, just leave it. Thanks for your trouble." I calmly closed the door. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Mason on Snapchat. "Daisy was crying so hard backstage she could barely breathe. The situation isn't good. I need to stay and comfort her. Explain to George for me. Did he get the Lego?" I didn't reply. Right then, a new notification popped up. A post from Mia. The photo showed a man's upright figure from behind, bending down to hold a little girl in a princess dress. The caption read, "Thank you for saving a lonely little girl's Children's Day." That silhouette, I'd been looking at it for 10 years. Staring at the glaring image and text on my phone screen, all I felt was deep exhaustion. I calmly walked to my desk, pulled open the bottom drawer, and took out a divorce agreement I'd drafted long ago. Turning to the last page, I picked up a pen and steadily signed my name in the wife's section, Annie Brown. Then I walked to the calendar on the wall. In the box 2 days away, marked with a smiley face and the words family photo, I picked up a black marker and drew a pitch black circle over it. Late at night, the living room lights were off. I sat on the sofa with scissors, the red cape I'd spent countless sleepless nights sewing draped across my lap. Blood from needle pricks had stained the lining, all to create the perfect father-son performance. The scissors mercilessly tore through the fabric. Golden tassels fell in 2 pieces onto the carpet. I cut and cut mechanically until the cape that held months of my son's anticipation became a pile of scraps. I swept them all into the trash. At 2 a.m, the sound of the password lock came from the door. Mason pushed open the door, smelling faintly of alcohol, exhaustion written all over his face. He casually loosened his tie and was about to change shoes when his movements suddenly stopped. In the moonlight, he stared down at the trash bin by his feet. Inside, the shredded red cape lay quietly. "Annie, what are you throwing a fit about now?"